Hi guys, this is Nassem here, and welcome to Argos Guides, where I break down all the mechanics and teach you how to clear them. This is the Phase 1 guide, and the recommended item level is 1370. The recommended battle items are HP potions, protective potions, or time stop potions. This is the most important mechanism you need to know. Each party will be assigned a symbol. This red symbol represents the sun, and the blue symbol represents the moon. The reason why this is important is because if you have the sun symbol, these yellow AoEs will not damage you. Likewise, if you have the moon symbol, these purple AoEs will not damage you. If you are colorblind, the sun symbol is more of a circle, while the moon symbol is a vertical oval. Now that we got the symbols out of the way, let's talk about some of the most important mechanisms we need to know. When Argos is at about 60% HP and 30% HP, Argos will jump to the middle of the map, lift his head up, and scream. Then, you'll see these yellow and purple circles. Depending on your symbol, you need to stay inside the circle or else you will die. Only one person is allowed in each circle. These circles always appear at the same spots, so it is recommended that you all decide which circle you will go into before meeting Argos. For example, both number 1 members from each party can go into the circles that appear on the north side. Number 2s can go into the circles that appear on the east side, and etc. Whatever you decide on, just do it before fighting Argos. If you are colorblind, the moon circles are always closer to Argos, and the sun circles are always further away. Now after this mechanic, there will be this dial under Argos. The actual way of getting through this mechanic is to transfer your symbol stacks by hitting Argos, but you need to do it in a way that it cancels out and keeps Argos neutral when the dial ends. This is confusing, right? So just ignore what I just said and just don't deal damage until this dial is finished. This way, Argos will stay neutral and everyone will be safe. Also, your symbol will change after this pattern, so keep that in mind as well. Argos looks up and screams for a while. When you see this, immediately stop dealing damage and be prepared to face the big pizza. Argos will show the safe zones for each symbol, and if you are in the wrong symbol, you will receive a lot of damage. A tip here is that Argos does this at least twice, and the second safe zone will always be the other tiles. Argos can do this 3 times in a row, but the third one will just be random. If you are colorblind, look for these symbols. Argos jumps to the middle of the map, and instead of lifting his head up, he digs his head into the ground and will start the small pizza pattern. Argos will first show you the safe zones, which you need to memorize. Then, just travel through the safe zones and you will be safe. If you are in the wrong zone, you will receive damage. However, this is not easy if this is your first time trying. So here's an easier way of getting through this mechanic. The last safe zones are fixed, and the last tile does the most damage. So what you want to do here is to stay in the fixed safe zones and use a protective potion or a time stop potion when the mechanic starts. This way, you can avoid the damage from the other tiles and be safe from the hardest hitting last tile. The fixed safe zones are 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock for the sun party, and 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock for the moon party. So stay in the respective safe zones and use a protective potion or a time stop potion to cheese this pattern. If you have a support or a gun lancer, ask them to give you shields during this pattern. If you'd like to actually learn how to do this pattern properly, I'll link a video talking about just this pattern when I'm done making it. Okay, now those are the major mechanics that you need to know to clear Argos. But knowing these normal patterns will save you tons of potions, and you won't be using up all the death counts like you did before watching this video. Yes, I'm talking to you. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's dive right in. Argos will draw these parallel lines on the ground. You are not dodging the lines here. You need to be between the lines. Once you are between the lines, you can freely deal damage without worrying. After Argos spins, stay right next to Argos and you will not receive damage. You will be safe until you see this explosion. Argos will summon 4 orbs of the same symbol. If you have the corresponding symbol, you need to go touch it to get rid of it. If you leave it around for too long, it will create AoE circles that interrupt your positioning. However, after you get rid of one, you get a debuff, and if you touch another one, you will receive damage. So ideally, each party member should touch one of these orbs each. Argos will stomp the ground, and there will be circles under him. If the circle is your symbol, you can ignore it, but if it's the opposite symbol, you need to get out of the circle before it explodes. If you are colorblind, I recommend getting out of both circles because this is hard to distinguish. 2 circles will show on the ground. You need to stay in the circle that corresponds to your symbol. If you are colorblind, the circle with these branches is a safe zone for the sum party. After Argos jumps backwards, he summons these orbs around his head. He will then start shooting these orbs at the person with the aggro. If you were in front of Argos when he jumped back, there is a high chance that you are the aggro, so keep running away from your teammates so that the orbs won't hit them. When there is this dim circle around Argos, only the corresponding party may get close to him. The other party can go in, but they will have a bar that depletes over time. This bar will refill when you are out of the circle. If this bar depletes, you will lose half your HP. So try to move back and forth to avoid this bar from depleting. There are other patterns as well, but they all have the same principle. The yellow attacks will not damage the sun party, and the purple attacks will not damage the moon party. Just remember that your symbol changes after the dials. I hope this video helped you master Argos' Phase 1, and I hope to see you in my Argos Phase 2 guide. Alright, peace.
I need to know if you'll give me a second chance. They don't come around often, but please, you know I can't stand it when you don't talk to me.